Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How you doing? It's Russ here from Poker's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. We say the things on here that nobody dares say. Isn't that right? Puppy Parsons, Coogs, the Gad, Judge Jordan, Jug Ears, Scam Jones, Monitor Lizards, the lot of them. Absolute monitor lizards. Right, let's get stuck in, shall we? Let's get stuck in. I've been thinking this morning, and Joe Joyce, aka Juggernaut Joe. We've got Joe, and we've got Big Meech. Nah, Big Meech. Big Meech is on slide, right? They've patched him up, haven't they? He's like Humpty Dumpty, isn't he? And so's Juggernaut Joe. But when Juggernaut Joe were running through everybody, Big Meech didn't want to go through Juggernaut Joe. Didn't want to fight him. Didn't want to go near him. AKA Anthony Joshua, AKA Larry Hoover. You know what I mean? Pretending that he's Muhammad Ali. If Big Meech flukes a win over John Coffey, do you know what's going to happen at Wembley? You're going to get Eddie Hills bouncing about saying he's a three-time world champion like Muhammad Ali. Even though Ali's got 16 wins over world champions and Joshua will have six if he beats Dubois, but it's a paper chump, isn't it? Dubois, aka John Coffey, paper chump. But he'll go down at records as a win over a world champion, as a two-time world champion, because one he a regular champion as well. So you couldn't make it up. There's world champion belts flying all over, isn't there? And what they're getting him off eBay. You know what I mean? Might as well get Dave Allen a belt while you ask it. Get me one, I'll have one. Got a couple of belts here on windowsill. But right. So I think this is what's going to happen, and nobody's going to come out and speak like me. I think John Coffey, I think he flogs Big Meech and holds that belt up, right? And he's then IBF world champion, but still Usyk's cast-offs, isn't it? Usyk gave that belt as a gift and we're laughing his head off when he gave me. He said, yeah, he can fight for my leftovers. I'm already undisputed. We all know Usyk's the man. He's the main man, isn't he? 335 wins as an amateur, 15 losses, rematched 11 and bashed them up. European World Olympic gold, turns pro, undisputed, cruiserweight, undisputed across the board. At heavyweight, 22-0, 14 by way of on Button Moon. Schooled a lot of them, but done it against bigger men, 2 and 3 stone heavier than him. It's not like doing it in the same weight division as Crawford, and I know you. He's fighting bigger men, so he's pound for pound number one for me. Right, but getting back to Big Meech and Juggernaut Joe, when Dubois, aka John Coffey, when he flogs him, Anthony Joshua, aka Big Meech, when he puts him on Button Moon, right, everybody will start believing in what I've been saying about Big Meech, that he's a fraud. He's been wrapped in cotton wool years. He didn't want to go near Wilder all them years now. But I can see what's going to happen. See, I've got a crystal ball here, right? John Coffey flogs him, and he comes back, right, with a fight against Juggernaut Joe, right, or Wilder. But I'm going to go for Juggernaut Joe because it's a domestic. It won't be for a belt, but they're going to go for it, and they're going to sell it as they had a few tear-ups up at the EIS. But basically, it'd be two old men, wouldn't it? Juggernaut Joe's 39. And what's Joshua next month? He's 35, is he, next month, Joshua? So it is what it is, isn't it? Absolute weaponry. But that's what they'll do. They'll try and sell it as, the sparred hard sparring and two big men, 6'6", and all that knackers when really they've both been knocked about, haven't they? They've both been knocked about, really, and it's just it's a bit like it'd be a bit like Ron Lyle against George Foreman, wouldn't it? Like this one is really, this is like a Ron Lyle against George Foreman, isn't it? Two big punchers that basically have been knocked about by Muhammad Ali. That's what this is. It's true, isn't it? It's true, isn't it? Ali knocked Foreman about and knocked Ron Lyle about, didn't he? And these two going at it is a bit like that, isn't it? Really, it's like a leftovers fight, isn't it? But they've thrown him a bone, haven't they? They've probably given Usyk a big fat drink to get rid of that belt, but the IBF do stick to rules for the simple reason. 1 years ago, they got investigated, and every year they have to hand the books into FBI, and they have a look at them, they monitor them, don't they? So the IBF stick to rules, but they're fighting for IBF belts, but it's Usyk's leftovers, and that's my opinion on it. But John Coffey batters Big Meech, puts him on button moon with them 100 people that Big John Fury put up there, big fighting man in the ring or on the hard road. They'll be sat on button moon with them and George Groves and Booty, them that Frotch put up there, Jermaine Taylor, Tony Dodson, Tony Warrior Dodson. Do you remember him? He were going to do wonders. There were chairs flying over my head from Tony Dodson fans when Frotch fought him, but he got put on button moon, but he's a nice kid. But they're all up there on button moon, and Big Meech will be going up there on Saturday night. You watch. John Coffey's going to put him on button moon, and then they're going to bring him back in a Ron Lyle against George Foreman type fight against Juggernaut Joe, just like this one is. And they'll keep wheeling him out and wheeling him out and wheeling him out until there's no left of him, until he's fighting people like the White Rhino. That's what's going to happen. And he's going to be saying things like, there's something left in tank. Then it'll be him and Dylan White. They'll fight. They'll try and sell that as they've both fought each other once. And it's a trilogy. They fought in amateurs. They fought in pros. They'll get at it. And before you know where you are, he'll be fighting on a Dana White show. And who's to say he won't fight Fury on a Dana White show? They're going to have to fight one day. But it is what it is, isn't it? They've all been knocked about by Usyk. That's the bottom line. All right. I just want to finish on Sean O'Hagan, a.k.a. Bagpuss. Well done on losing some weight, lads. It's harder than what you think. When Josh Warrington, the Leeds Warrior, beat Kiko Martinez, a few months after, didn't Jazza Dickens win IBO? And they wanted the Josh Warrington fight, but what did Bagpuss and the Leeds Warriors say? Then, you've only got an IBO belt. It's not a cereal packet. It's not a real belt. It's not a real world title belt. Well, this is how I look at it, right? You're now fighting for IBO and you're saying you're in a world title fight and you're going to be a three-time world champion and all that. Listen, I thought that belt was from out of cereal box. Hey, hypocrites. That's what you get in boxing, hypocrites. So, as far as I'm concerned, the IBO is a proper belt, just like the others. Just because Ring Magazine hasn't signed off on it. De La Hoya don't get on, does he, with Ed Levine? But I can assure you, if Oscar De La Hoya was still fighting now and he were fighting for IBO, it'd be classed as the fifth belt. But hardcore fans like me, we class it as the fifth belt. So Josh Warrington is fighting for a world title, even though the IBF isn't on the line. The IBO belt's on the line. So I'm glad that Bagpuss and the Leeds Warrior have come into line and they're bigging up the IBO belt. Because I've always bigged the IBO belt up, and I don't give about people who haven't bigged it up. All right, but remember when you had the IBF Bagpuss, you were walking around with your arse hanging out, your pants, going on about it's not a proper belt. We only fight for proper belts. Well, now look at you, begging bowl out. But what were embarrassing, really, last couple of days. Well, Bagpuss saying, I've always got on with you, Eddie, and we've always done great business and all that. Why don't you come out and say what you really used to say about Eddie Hills, Bagpuss? Come on, come and tell the truth. Come and tell the truth. You know what I mean? We're a bit cringe. You think Eddie don't get to know? He's got moles everywhere. Do you know what I mean? So, it is what it is. But personally, I think the Leeds Warriors on the slide, but I hope he does kick easy. But I think he's going to be in for a long night. All right. That's about it, really. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Don't forget to have a look at our sister channel, Porky's International. Go have a look on there. Let me know what you think. All right. Like and subscribe on there, because we're going to be putting a lot of effort into that in the next couple of months. All right. Go on, booyaka. Max, give me a ring when you're 18 stone. Don't bother me till then, Max. All right. Big Ron. I hope you liked that video of a day, Big Ron. Oh, Big Ron. Like I told you a couple of years ago, the cupboards are bare. You might start listening to people in future, eh? And go and sign kids who are top amateurs. And then you can pluck them, can't you, 5 year down the line? You've wasted 2 5 year stints since you've known me, Ron, and you're still not listening, are you? There's no shortcuts to success. All right, you told me that, but you don't. You listen, do you? Everybody who signs the new Clinton Woods, do me a favour. It must be embarrassing for you, though, Big Ron, having to snurtle up to people and work with people that you can't fucking stand, eh? Booyaka. Have some pride about you, son. She's like rest of them. Like Bagpuss there, cozying up to Eddie. Oh, I've always liked you, Eddie. We've always done good business. Oh, my God, Sean O'Hagan. Exposed for you. Absolute waffle and licking human monitor lizards. God, boxing's full of them, isn't it? Absolute two-faced full of them. Sheesh. Booyaka.